Peace and prosperity. This is Esaia and welcome back to Earth's Feminine. This is the channel where I am encoding the remembrance of the primal feminine energy of the planet back into the hearts, minds, and souls of all those who come to watch my videos, but specifically for the women who are ready to empower themselves, resurrect themselves, and really and truly activate the magic of what it means to be a woman, and not just from these surface level colonized perspectives of feminine energy that I believe keep you limited, keep you still operating within the hamster wheel of the matrix. So this channel is here to break you out of that. And today I want to talk about how you are not required to struggle and build anything before you can give yourself the permission to be loved, to be provided for, to be worthy of everything that you want and desire truly in your heart in a relationship. And I know I have to say truly because we're in a society now where so many women have just kind of I know in my journey, I got to a point where I didn't even really believe in having a good love life. I didn't really even believe that I could be catered to, that I could be pampered, that I could be poured into. I just didn't have those beliefs. That had a lot to do with my upbringing and my relationships with my family and my parents and things like that. So I had to do that work. I had to go through the motions. I had to realize that I am not required to struggle. I'm not required to have to do anything to be worthy of the love that I desire. Now, I will say that it did require me, the only requirement, okay, that I had to accept to receive these things was that I had to love myself. I had to remember what it meant to love myself and to embody feminine energy at its core, and not just at a surface level to where I was patching myself together and making myself look pretty on the outside, but internally and mentally I wasn't evolving. I wasn't growing. So the struggle in the building that I'm talking about here is the struggling in the building that a lot of people, a lot of men that are successful can tend to promote to women, that especially if they have a relationship or they have a woman that was with them before they, got to their level of success in life, or before they grew financially, they will promote their women, or they'll promote their wives or whatever it is, their girlfriends, as a really good woman, a really great woman, because this woman stuck by my side and builded with me and struggled with me when we had nothing, right? That's what makes her a good woman. And it's maybe unintentionally, they might not be trying to convey that message, but when you have multiple successful men who post their women, right, as if if you want to have a good life, if you want to have a successful man, if you want to have a successful marriage, as a woman, what that's communicating to women is, you have to be with me in my lowest moments, and you have to build with me from the ground up. And listen, do I think that going that route as a woman with someone, sorry, I'm getting tired. I gotta put my phone on. I forget to put my phone on do not disturb while I'm talking. But Isn't it great to just get text messages that make you smile? I love that. So dang it, I lost my train of thought. It's coming back to me. So I'm not here trying to say that going that route, like as a woman, is bad, okay? Because when you are a woman and when you truly do meet someone that aligns with you and you click and you connect and there's this merging of your heart and your soul and your body and everything, and you just feel deep down inside that this man is good for you, then I would never say, like, don't be with him through whatever it is he needs to go through to get to that next level so he can provide you with the life that he wants to provide you with, right? I will give advice. I would give other advice as like the type of standards that and the level of intimacy that you share with a man that isn't able to provide you with certain things. But I would never say don't do it, right? Because I do know that it can be good. It can be rewarding. But when there's there's just like a heavy amount of men who are successful that are sharing this message, it can condition young men and young women. And it really doesn't matter the age. It can condition people to think and believe that for women, I actually have to struggle and build with a man. Like, I know women that literally see a man doing bad in life and they like see that as an opportunity to like build him up, right? They'll be like, oh my gosh, if I build him up and I struggle with him, then he's going to love me all the more for it. He's going to appreciate me all the more for it. He's going to commit to me, marry me. Like, maybe unconsciously they might not be thinking that, but subconsciously, because of the programming, and that's how subconscious conditioning works, is these women will start to behave in ways where that's what they think will happen. So what ends up happening is you stop actually seeing if this man is actually good for you on an energetic level. And you start being more committed to the practicality of the relationship. And, oh, if I do this, if I show up in this certain way, then he's gonna be, all these things. And the thing about it is, men who really and truly do need help, they will reward a woman who is doing those things for him. They will reward a woman who is struggling with him and building with him by, and I don't really know what I mean by reward. I guess I should say validate. They will validate this woman, right? The thing about it is when the relationship starts off in that way, you're not giving the opportunity for the energetics of your feminine energy and his masculine energy to truly meet and merge and see if you are compatible together. And if you really have a chemistry and a compatibility outside of the practicality that will last. So it ends up taking away from the actual substance of the relationship and the partnership. And it also takes away from this man's capacity to feel like a man to you as a woman. So you end up emasculating him because you now want to be more like his mother or his parental figure than you do his woman. And you're not really being his woman, right? Because a man wants to feel like he can pour into your life. So for women who have that urge and that eagerness to show up in that way when they come across a man that's into them or interested in being with them, and you get that urge that you feel like you just want to help them, Like, this is where you get the opportunity to take a step back and see where that need to serve is coming from. Because I've also had women who literally think that this is a part of their love language, is servitude. Like, they'll be like, I'm just really love being of service and serving, you know? And it's like, that is not exactly the best trait to have for your man, because your man is the man in your life. Your husband, he's supposed to be the one who wants to serve you. So it's like the roles have reversed, the script has flipped, and this man is not able to really serve you because you're showing up into the relationship with this flipped understanding of who you are and who you're meant to be as a woman. So again, when you feel yourself going into this energy of like, I'm the woman, I can help him, I can serve him, it's like, really check yourself. Take a step back and ask yourself, why do I feel the need to do things for a grown man that he can do for himself? Why do I feel the need to step up and take away, right? Like, because essentially that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be taken away from his ability to truly feel like he's a man, and that he did it on his own and he got it by himself, and that he can do it by himself and he can also do it for you, you know? Like, check yourself and see, what is it inside of you? What's going on in your past, you know? What has happened in your past that is causing you to feel like you need to operate in this mothering or masculine way in order to feel good about yourself in a relationship. So the aligned and activated woman doesn't feel the need to show up in these ways. She doesn't feel the need to, if she sees a man who's interested in her that's struggling in life, she takes a step back and she allows him to figure it out on his own, even if she knows that she can help him, even if she knows that she has the knowledge or the ability to help him. She's not going to do that because she wants men in her life. She wants men who are men in her life. And she does not want boys in her life. She does not want men that she needs to raise and be their mother in her life. She wants men in her life. So that is her standard that she's going to respect within herself. And that's the way she's going to carry herself. And so I remember when I made that shift in my own life, like, it was a conscious decision that I had to make, that I had to uphold, even when I came across men that were trying to bait me into that energy. Because nowadays there's a lot of men that are just, they're coddled, they're entitled, right? Like, they haven't matured. And I did a video on that on my channel. It's called Do You Believe Healthy Men Exist? Go watch that video, because I talk about how the collective masculine is in this state of immaturity. And a lot of it has to do with our own embracing of ourselves, our own oppression and repression that's happened over the years as the feminine. And so as we embody that standard within ourselves, that was something that I had to do. And when I did that, the men that I was in contact with, right, I had to kind of shift myself out of that energy. And to do that, for the men that was in my environment that was showing up in that way, that was maybe like, hey, I'm doing this thing with my business and I would love it if you could help me. Like, knowing that he's actually, our initial interaction was for him to court me and that he was interested in me in a relationship, right? Like, now he's, as time is passing, he's like trying to flip the script and get me to help him with stuff. And it's like, no, sir. you know, and in those moments, I make myself clear that, oh, I'm sorry, I don't work with men that are interested in courting me. I just don't do that. That's a boundary for me. And, you know, I'm sure somebody else could help you with those things. And in that moment, they'll be like, oh, okay, you know, okay, I get that. And so typically those men are used to women who are mothering them and coddling them. Those men that will just outright do that, they're used to that kind of woman. So this is where you get to set the standard for not only yourself, but the collective. You get to raise the frequency of what men are expecting from women, and also of what women give themselves permission to uphold in their own life. So as soon as you start raising those standards and saying, no, like I don't actually have to do any of these things to be worthy of love, care, and appreciation. All I really need to do is pour into myself, uphold my own feminine principles and feminine energy, and that will naturally pour out into the masculine. That will naturally give the masculine what he needs, give the masculine his energy, right? And so there's another thing that another kind of thing that I've heard men say that makes a woman feel like she needs to give more than is required of her, that is even necessary of her, before this man has put in any real effort into a relationship with her, is this notion of reciprocity, right? I've heard, you know, when men talk about you need to be reciprocal, or you need to be like, basically like, what are you bringing to the table kind of energy. Like that energy, you need to be able to have a spidey sense of when maybe they're not saying that, but maybe they're saying it in another way. Or, you know, you just need to be able to pick up on the vibration of a man who's expecting you to give him something without him putting any real effort into showing you that he can love you correctly. He can be a good man to you, and you guys seeing what your dynamic is of masculinity and femininity is before you actually have to sacrifice any of yourself. So sacrificing any of yourself looks like committing to a man before he's actually put any effort into showing you what a relationship with him would look like, showing you what a marriage with him would look like. That's sacrificing energy too soon. So you're committing to a man before he ever, you know, shows you what it's like to be in a relationship. Then that's you basically opting in to do more in a relationship, like upfront, like you just asking to put in more than what you should need to put in, because the relationship is starting off with him not needing to show you or do anything to prove to you why you should even be in his life. Like, not let alone give love, attention, affection, and whatever else that you naturally give as your own unique feminine being, but just like in general, right? So that is an example. That's like a first and primary example of how women tend to opt in to struggle love just with those simple things, just with these simple things. So immediately when you are going out into your dating life or out into the world and you're attracting suitors, you're attracting masculinity, you're attracting men, remember that you do not need to show or prove anything before this man can show up and prove himself to you. You do not need to meet him halfway. You do not need to compromise yourself if he has not shown you or put in any effort into you. Okay? Now, when you do get permission, or it is a good idea to give yourself permission to flower a little bit more, the flowering of you involves effort on his part. And if he gets upset because you are receiving his effort and you're not giving the same effort back, then this man is like, he doesn't understand masculine and feminine principles. He doesn't really appreciate the feminine. And there also sometimes could be some underlying jealousy there of women, like some underlying, not a good relationship that this man has with feminine energy. So remember, just remember, you can be loved, you can receive, you can have all the things, okay? Before you ever give any of yourself, okay? Other than just showing up and smiling and being who you are. So with that being said, thank you for watching this video. If you liked this video, go ahead and like it, subscribe. How do you feel about everything that I've shared? Do you feel like you're required to show up and do some kind of effort or show something when you are coming into a relationship? Or do you feel like you should just need to sit back and sit pretty and let the masculine show himself to you? And if you approve, then he might just get the chance to see you flower and experience more of you. I'm interested in hearing what your thoughts are and how this message has resonated with you and what you've learned. And if you're interested in working with me, then I am opening the doors to my 5 to 7 week program, Redemption. Redemption is a renewed aspect of a previous program that I did called the Lilith Code. And this is the going to be the experience of the Lilith Code, where we specifically focused on reinvigorating the miracle codes of regenerating your cells in your body. So this is going to be a health and body sovereignty experience to the max. And in this program, I want women to be able to understand and learn how to release years and years of stored trauma in the body, how to heal yourself and reverse chronic illnesses, unknown illnesses, things that people say that you'll have for the rest of your life. How you can really release that from your body and do that in a short amount of time. And these are the codes that I have applied into my own life that has allowed me to heal and rejuvenate my cells. And over the past 10 years, I've really been able to witness how I've pretty much reversed aged. I've literally gone backwards as far as aging and how I feel in my body and the level of energy that I have in my body. So this is my next live offering that I'm going to be doing for you all. So if you're interested in that, make sure you send me an email at the email linked down below, or to my Instagram that is going to be linked down below in the description. And yeah, I am excited to see you guys again in my next video. Peace.